The error chime is wrong. 3 ascending tones, then silence, then 4 descending. That sequence belongs to tertiary nutrient feeds, not revival protocols. I know this the way I know the weight of a blade in hands I no longer possess. The chime repeats. Again wrong. I am awake. The amniotic fluid drains from my sarcophagus in stuttering gulps, rather than the smooth evacuation I remember from 347 previous revivals. Air touches what remains of my flesh. Cold air, wrong temperature. The environmental systems should warm the atmosphere to precisely 31 degrees before fluid evacuation begins. This air burns against the exposed meat of my torso, the nerve clusters that interface with the machine, the stumps where arms and legs used to matter. Sequence deviation logged, says a voice. Not Brother Technician Morris, not Brother Technician Aldrich who replaced Morris after the Garventus campaign, not anyone I recognize. The voice carries the mechanical undertones of vox amplification through damaged speakers, revival continuing despite deviation, estimated consciousness integration in 43 seconds. 43 seconds is wrong. Standard protocol requires 120 seconds minimum between fluid evacuation and cognitive system engagement. Rushing the sequence risks neural bridging failures. Rushing the sequence risks memory corruption. Rushing the sequence risks what the ancient texts call temporal displacement syndrome. I know this because I wrote those protocols. 3,000 years passed. The error chime sounds again. Same wrong sequence. I try to access my external sensors and find only cascading failure reports. My optical feeds show nothing but gray static. I am blind and deaf in any way that matters. Who speaks? My voice emerges as a grinding thunder, the war horn vocoder activating despite the incomplete revival sequence. Identify yourself. This awakening violates 17 established protocols. Silence. Answers. Not the comfortable silence of the crypt where I normally rest. This silence has texture, the particular quality of enclosed spaces too small, of walls pressing close. Consciousness integration at 73%, the voice announces. Memory bridging initiating. No. Memory bridging should not happen until consciousness reaches full integration. The sequence exists for reasons. The sequence protects against contamination between present awareness and stored experience. The sequence prevents what happened to Brother Ancient Torrance, who woke from a 2-century sleep convinced he was still a scout of 17 summers, tearing his own sarcophagus apart from within. They had to kill Torrance. I remember signing the authorization. I remembered too much suddenly. The memory bridge activates without warning, and I am not here. I am not now. I am standing on the walls of Fortress Covenant during the 3rd Garventus incursion, and the sky burns orange with atmospheric discharge, and Brother Captain Wesley is dying at my feet, his chest opened by something that should not exist in material space, and I am still whole, still possessing arms and legs, and I am young, barely 3 centuries past my ascension. Memory bridging at 41%, the voice reports. Accessing combat archives. Stop. The word does not leave my vocoder. My motor functions remain locked. My weapons systems show offline. I cannot do anything but experience the flood of memory pouring through me. Garventus. The siege lasted 19 years. I entered this machine body on the siege's 3rd day, after the thing that should not exist took my limbs and most of my organs. The tech priests worked for 11 hours to transfer my consciousness into the armored shell. I remember the procedure. I should not remember the procedure. Standard protocol includes memory suppression of the interment process. I remember anyway. I remember Brother Technician Aldrich saying it was the fastest interment in chapter history. I remember his hands inside my chest cavity. I remember the exact moment when the neural shunts connected and I stopped being a dying warrior and became something else. Memory bridging at 67%. Accessing strategic archives. The voice does not belong to any member of my chapter. The certainty arrives with the force of revelation. I have served alongside every battle brother for 3,000 years. The voice speaking now has never spoken in my presence before, which means the voice belongs to either a very new addition or an enemy. The error chime sounds. Wrong sequence. Still wrong. I focus on the chime because focusing on the chime means not focusing on the memories still bleeding through the bridge. There, in the pattern of the chime, not just wrong, deliberately altered. Someone has encoded information in the sequence itself. 3 ascending tones, pause, 4 descending. In the battle cant of my chapter, that sequence means trap. Memory bridging at 82%. Accessing command authorization archives. The trap is not for me. The realization crystallizes through the chaos. I am the trap. Someone has awakened me early, out of sequence, with corrupted protocols, because they need something from me. They are using the memory bridge to access information stored within my consciousness. 3,000 years of battle plans, strategic assessments, chapter deployments, fortress coordinates, the location of every hidden cache, every emergency retreat, every sacred site. Who are you? I demand again. This time, my vocoder responds, though the volume fluctuates wildly. What do you want from me? Memory bridging at 91%. They do not answer because answering would serve no purpose. My memories flow out of me like blood from a wound I cannot close. The error chime again. Trap. The warning remains constant even as everything else falls apart. I am Ancient Bradley. I am the undying storm. I have served the Emperor for 3,147 years. I have fought in 203 major campaigns. I have personally destroyed 14 enemy war engines. I have done everything asked of me and more. I have also failed. The memory surfaces without warning. Fortress Covenant. The 19th year of the siege. The enemy had found a weakness in our perimeter, not a physical weakness. A flaw in our strategic thinking, a pattern in our defensive rotations that could be exploited by anything intelligent enough to recognize it. I told them, not willingly, not consciously, but the things that attacked Covenant could read minds. They tore the information from me during a skirmish I barely survived. I did not know they had taken anything. 300 brothers died because of the information I unwittingly provided. Wesley died. Covenant itself nearly fell. No one blamed me. The official records state the enemy discovered the defensive pattern through observation alone. No one knows except me, and whatever remains of the enemy intelligence that extracted my strategic thinking 3,000 years ago. And now someone else is doing the same thing. Memory bridging complete. Strategic archive integration successful. Initiating consciousness lock. The words hit like a physical blow. Consciousness lock. The term does not exist in any protocol I know. Consciousness locks were theoretical technology when I was interred. The nightmare scenario tech priests discussed in whispers, the possibility that an enemy might trap an ancient within their own machine shell forever, aware but unable to act. I feel the lock engaging. My motor functions shut down entirely. My weapon systems go dark. Even my vocoder ceases to respond, trapping my screams in the meat of my remaining throat. The error chime continues. Trap, yes, I know. Ancient Bradley, the voice says, and now I hear something I missed before. Satisfaction. I have waited 700 years for this moment. 700 years. The number echoes. 700 years ago, I was awakened for the Brennic compliance, the pacification of a feudal world that had rejected imperial rule. Routine operation. Nothing that should have created an enemy willing to wait 7 centuries for revenge, unless something happened I do not remember. You cost me everything, the voice continues. My chapter, my brothers, my future, all because your chapter's strategists understood our deployment patterns, all because your ancient mind held the key to our destruction. I try to respond, the lock holds. The Brennic compliance was not supposed to find us. We had operated in that sector for 300 years without discovery. We served the Emperor in our own way, eliminated threats the Imperium preferred to ignore, and then your brothers arrived with intelligence they should not have possessed. The memory surfaces. Brennic. The initial briefing mentioned anomalies. Previous Imperial forces had reported unexplained casualties among the feudal population, deaths that could not be attributed to local conflicts. The chapter strategists believed something operated in the sector outside Imperial knowledge. They were right. Your brothers killed every one of mine. 73 warriors who had served the Emperor for longer than your chapter has existed. They called us heretics. They burned our fortress and scattered our ashes across the void. The voice breaks momentarily. I alone survived. I alone have spent 7 centuries planning this moment, not simple revenge. If this enemy wanted me dead, I would already be dead. He wants something else. Your chapter used you, the voice says. They connected your consciousness to their strategic cogitators, let your ancient memories inform their battle plans, used you as a weapon without your knowledge or consent. You did not choose to destroy my brothers, but your memories made their destruction possible. The accusation carries weight because it carries truth. I know my chapter employs techniques I am not always aware of. I know my consciousness connects to systems beyond my direct control during sleep cycles. I did not know they weaponized me against other servants of the Emperor. Memory archive integration complete, the voice announces. Emergency communication protocols identified. No, the horror penetrates even the consciousness lock. Emergency communication protocols, the codes we use when all else fails. Those protocols exist precisely because they cannot be intercepted, cannot be decoded, cannot be used by enemies. This enemy now has them. I told you that you cost me everything, the voice says. Now you will help me take everything from your chapter in return. Your brothers will die not knowing why, not understanding who hunts them, not comprehending how their enemy knows every secret. I strain against the consciousness lock. 3,000 years of fury focused on breaking free. The lock holds. Time passes. I cannot measure it. I exist in perpetual present, aware but impotent. Sounds reach me. Footsteps, machinery, voices I do not recognize. My captor commands resources. He has allies or servants. He has a plan that extends beyond simple revenge. The error chime follows me. 29 minutes, 28, 27. We travel through corridors I cannot perceive. My audio receptors catch fragments, prayers in a language I do not recognize, machinery operating at frequencies that suggest non-imperial origin, screams from somewhere far below. The motion stops, seals hiss, ancient Bradley, a third voice, this one resonant with age and authority, undying storm, hero of covenant, executioner of the Brennic heretics. The last title cuts deepest, executioner. He means the chapter I unknowingly helped destroy. I have anticipated this meeting for longer than you can imagine. Your chapter killed my sons. Your chapter called us traitors when we were the Emperor's most faithful servants. Your chapter, not you. He distinguishes between me and those who used me, and yet he has me here, locked, helpless. I know you were a weapon and not a warrior in that action. I know you bear no personal guilt, but your memories do bear guilt, and now those same memories will provide the means for your chapter's end. The error chime sounds. 18 minutes. Do you understand what I am offering you? I am offering you the truth, the complete truth about what your chapter has done to you. Temptation seeps through the consciousness lock. Your chapter's strategic cogitator system does not merely access your memories during sleep, it modifies them. Every time you wake, you carry fewer doubts, fewer questions, fewer moments of moral uncertainty. They edit you, Ancient Bradley. They remove the parts that might cause you to question. You are not the warrior who was interred 3,000 years ago. You are a construct shaped by 10,000 surgical cuts to your consciousness. No, the denial rises instinctively. I would know. I would feel the changes. But I do not doubt. I have not doubted in centuries. I cannot remember when I last questioned anything. I search my memory for instances of doubt and find nothing. A void where natural psychology suggests something should exist. They edited me. They removed my capacity for doubt. You see now, the voice says. You feel the shape of what they carved away, the error chime. 13 minutes. They created a tool that cannot recognize when it is being misused. You are not a brother to them, Ancient Bradley. You are an asset. I want to reject this. I want to believe my chapter cares for me. But the absence in my memory speaks louder than any words. The error chime. 10 minutes. I am going to unlock your vocoder. You may speak. Systems shift. The consciousness lock loosens just enough. Why show me this? Why not simply use me and discard me? Because you deserve to know. Because I am not the monster your chapter painted me as. You will destroy my chapter. I will destroy those who destroyed mine. The error chime. 7 minutes. What happens in 7 minutes? Laughter, almost warm. You decoded the chime modification. Impressive. A pause. In 7 minutes one of your brothers will attempt to rescue you. Rescue. Someone knows I am here. Brother Sergeant Marcus Fletcher, 10th Company. He traced anomalous readings to this location against direct orders. He believes he is saving you from enemy capture. He is walking into a trap designed specifically for him. The consciousness lock will prevent you from warning him. He will die believing he failed to save you. The error chime. 5 minutes. You do not have to do this. Brother Fletcher played no role in your chapter's destruction. He was not even born when Brennic occurred. So were my brothers innocent. Innocence did not save them. The error chime. 3 minutes. I strain against the lock with everything I have. 3 millennia of battles focused on breaking free. The lock holds. Your chapter modified your consciousness to remove doubt, but they could not remove love. That is why this will hurt you. The error chime. 1 minute. I hear footsteps running, power armor at full speed. Fletcher racing toward me, not knowing he races toward execution. The consciousness lock will release the moment Fletcher dies. You will have to live with the knowledge that your freedom cost a brother's life. The chamber door explodes inward. A young warrior, barely 2 centuries past ascension, armor scarred, blade in hand. Ancient Bradley. I am Brother Fletcher, and I am here to... The shot takes him through the throat. Clean, precise. Fletcher falls. His blood spreads across the floor. His eyes find mine through my optical sensors, confusion and betrayal in them. The consciousness lock releases. I rise. Motor functions return, weapon systems come online. Fletcher dies with his eyes still fixed on mine. I watch the light leave. Them. My cannon arm charges. My targeting systems acquire figures arrayed around the chamber. Now you understand, the voice says from everywhere. Now you feel what I felt. I fire. The shot tears through empty air. The figures are holograms, projections designed to waste my first shot. Your memories have been fully extracted. You are free to go. Return to your brothers. Tell them what comes for them. I scan for real targets. Nothing. The projectors have already powered down. The door at the chamber's far end opens. Beyond it, corridors I recognize. Fortress architecture. Home. They brought me back. They extracted what they needed and returned me to the place I was supposed to protect. I lift Fletcher's body. His blood drips onto my shell. The master spoke of modifications, surgical removals of doubt. He spoke as if revealing these things might turn me against my brothers. He miscalculated. I know now that my chapter used me without consent. I know they edited my memories. I feel the rage these revelations should inspire. But I also know my brothers face destruction because of what was taken from me tonight. Fletcher died trying to save me. The modifications prevented me from doubting. They did not prevent me from loving. I emerge into the corridor. Emergency lighting casts everything in crimson. Brothers run past, preparing for enemies they cannot see. None of them know I am the threat. None of them know I carry the weapon that will destroy them, locked inside memories I cannot delete. I carry Fletcher toward the apothecarium. His gene seed must be harvested. I am Ancient Bradley. I have 17 minutes to decide whether my chapter deserves my loyalty or only my warning. The chapter command center erupts into chaos when I enter carrying Fletcher's corpse. "Stand down," orders Chapter Master Rodriguez. Ancient Bradley, report. "You were not scheduled for awakening for another 37 years. I was awakened 17 minutes out of sequence by an enemy." Operative. "Brother Fletcher died attempting to rescue me. The enemy has extracted my strategic memory archives, including all chapter deployment protocols, fortress coordinates, and emergency communication codes." Silence follows. Quarantine the Ancient. Full cognitive lockdown pending assessment. Brothers move to obey. Hands reach for the manual override ports. I could resist. I do not. There is more. The enemy claimed my memories have been edited to remove doubt, to eliminate moral uncertainty, to transform me into a weapon that cannot question its deployment. Rodriguez's mask slips, just for an instant. Then returns. The Ancient is compromised. Initiate full purge protocols and prepare for deep memory audit. I know what that means. They will open my consciousness, read every thought, find the gaps, the surgical absences, and then decide whether to repair the damage or remove the witness. I accept whatever judgment you deem appropriate, but I ask that you act on my warning. The enemy knows us now. Rodriguez nods once. I am carried away toward the crypt. The sarcophagus closes. Fluid floods my remaining flesh. Probes connect. The audit begins. If the enemy spoke truth, the audit will find evidence. My brothers will know what was done to me, what was done by them. 3,000 years, so many campaigns. I can endure this too. The judgment comes in the 43rd hour. Ancient Bradley is hereby found, cognitively compromised through unauthorized memory modification across approximately 2,400 years. Evidence indicates systematic removal of doubt-related neural patterns and independent moral reasoning capacities. 2,400 years of modifications. Most of my existence. However, evidence also indicates core personality matrices remain intact. The subject retains authentic emotional bonds and genuine loyalty. The subject is not a construct. The subject is a brother who was modified without consent. Something shifts in my chest. Chapter Command has determined the Ancient shall be restored to full capacity with modifications reversed where possible. He shall resume active service at his own discretion as a brother rather than an asset. My vocoder activates. And the enemy? Rodriguez's voice stripped of formality. We have identified him, a survivor of the chapter we eliminated at Brennic. His claims about that operation are not entirely unfounded. We have evidence that we knew what we were doing when we used your memories to destroy a chapter that had not been formally condemned. The fluid drains. Air touches my flesh, warm this time, properly calibrated. You used me to commit fratricide. We used you to eliminate what we perceived as a threat. There is no excuse. There is only what happened and what we do now. My optical feeds activate. Rodriguez stands with his mask finally discarded. The enemy will strike soon. He has everything he needs. We know. We have begun countermeasures. Your memories showed us what we gave away. They also showed us how to protect what remains. I consider this, Fletcher, dead. The 73 brothers at Brennic, dead. 3,000 years of service to an institution that modified me, used me, lied to me. I consider the love that survived anyway, reverse the modifications. Let me feel doubt again. Let me become the brother I was supposed to be. Rodriguez nods. It will take years, and there is no guarantee. You may find that doubt is more painful than you remember. I know. I am willing. Brothers begin the process. I feel them working at the neural bridges. I feel pain beginning. I welcome it. Pain proves I am still capable of feeling. The enemy will come for us. He will strike with knowledge that should have remained secret. We will face him together, modified and restored, weapon and brother, all of us carrying choices we cannot unmake. This is what it means to serve the Emperor in a galaxy that offers no mercy. This is what it means to remain loyal when loyalty has been exploited. I am Ancient Bradley. I am the undying storm. I was awakened 17 minutes out of sequence, and I learned truths that should have destroyed me. They did not destroy me. They changed me. They made me free.